Welcome to a massive night in the WSL as Chelsea visit Spurs, looking to take control of their title destiny. It's all going to go down to the final day after an incredible afternoon last time out.
It is crunch time in the title race. It is Manchester City who are in the driving seat. It's Hemp! It is devastating! It's Blackstenius! Another twist in the title race! Blackstenius! Oh my word! Arsenal have turned this around with the late show!
After Manchester City's defeat to Arsenal, the title is in their hands. And that's a penalty, and Brighton scores. Could be a long evening for Bristol City. It's in, Chelsea have two, it's another! And they are now level in goal difference with Manchester City. And there is number 8! But they are right back in the title shake-up. With their game in hand, Chelsea will go top of the table.
Well, Chelsea have lost 3 parts of the quadruple and they were almost out of the title race too. Emma Hayes publicly conceded it. But that extraordinary slip-up by Manchester City, plus the Blues' improving goal difference, means a win tonight in their game in hand, and it will be back in their control before Saturday's final day. So, well, this is a situation in black and white, or at least in BBC branded colours. A win tonight puts Chelsea level with City with 1 game to go, but top on goal difference. But if they drop points tonight, it's advantage City. Chelsea will be relying on City slipping up on the final day when they visit Aston Villa. Meanwhile, Chelsea will be at Manchester United on Saturday. So if Chelsea are to be champions for the 5th year in a row, it's looking like a must-win game against the FA Cup runners-up Tottenham. Kick-off here in just over 10 minutes' time. I am delighted, of course, to be joined by Farah Williams and Anita Asante. And when we think about Chelsea and what they've gone through, especially over the last 2 weeks, Farah, it was looking bleak for them, but they're now back on it and they've got a chance here.
They do. It was an absolute roller coaster of emotion for them. I felt that Liverpool game, I felt Emma's comments in saying the title is now Manchester City. You saw she was emotionally drained after that game. She meant those comments, but she was given a lifeline in Arsenal beating Manchester City and her team going on to win the same evening 8-0 against Bristol. So they are back in the driving seat, in my opinion. And we know when Chelsea get into that driving seat position, they tend to cruise to the end. Yeah,
it is tough, and they're up against a Tottenham side tonight that actually might be a bit jaded after the weekend, Anita.
Yeah, I think there'll definitely be a hangover effect for Tottenham, you know, after the high of reaching the final, knocking out big hitters like Man City. They'll be disappointed with the defeat, but more disappointed with the performance, because I feel that we've credited them all season for the bravery and their identity, and they just didn't really live up to that on the day.
Yeah, well, let's see how they get on. We can get a little bit of team news. Of course, well, Tottenham, they welcome back midfielder Grace Clinton. She is back. Of course, she was ineligible for the FA Cup final against her parent club, Manchester United. Barbara Votikova, she starts in goal. She's in for injured Becky Spencer. Chelsea, they welcome back Lauren James to the bench after injury. 20-year-old Aggie Beever-Jones, she leads the line. It's in a week that she got another England call-up. So both teams in action tonight, and Joe Curry has been speaking to both managers.
Well, Robert, after Sunday's FA Cup final, how difficult has it been to pick the players up and get them in the headspace again for tonight's match?
Quite easy, I would say. I mean, of course, the evening was a little bit down and everything, but when we came back into the training ground and we realized that the whole journey has been great and we're learning from this loss as well, then it was quite easy to just motivate yourself and prepare for this game. So I know that everybody's very much want to play today, so it was no problem.
To go from all but conceding the title 2 weeks ago, did you think you'd get this second bite of the cherry?
I mean, look, I don't think we've been in a position before, especially after the Liverpool game, where Man City had to win the game and they win the title, and that didn't happen. So they've given us an opportunity, and but I respect Tottenham Hotspur, and I know that they won't want us to come out here with a win today, so it'll be a top game.
The one thing Chelsea has been over the years are experts at getting things over the line. What's the messaging tonight?
I just asked the players to visualise the performance they want to see. I enjoyed the Bristol performance, I enjoyed the energy, I enjoyed the attitude. I want to see similar things, and I've got 2 games left at this football club. I'm going to enjoy every minute of it.
I mean, with Emma Hayes, she conceded that title 2 weeks ago and it made headlines, you know, it was big news. She really said what she had to say. But here she is now, we've got a second chance here. But what we are seeing from her, the final day is sensational, isn't it? They are able to win it just by a point or 2 points every other season.
I mean, this is set up for an exciting finish to the title race. And I think Chelsea, for me, are the team to really, they're in pulp control. And if they drop points today, then they put it back in Man City's hands. But I think ultimately it's theirs to lose.
Yeah.
Well, they are the team, sorry, Jeanette. They're the team that have won the last 4 titles they've won has been on the final day of the season. So they've experienced that before. That's something that Manchester City haven't done. So, you know, that could play a huge part.
What's that down to then, Farah? Is it down to a level of resolve? Is it, like you said, about drive, them being in the driving seat and knowing what's at stake?
It's a mentality thing. I feel, you know, Anita's played under Emma Hayes and knows the kind of mentality and culture they created at Chelsea team. It's a winning culture. So they've got that and they've had those experiences. Manchester City haven't quite had them yet as a group of players. So they are in the driving seat in terms of the experience of it. But in terms of the form, Manchester City have been the most informed team throughout the season. Yeah. So if they are to lose on the final day, it will be massively disappointing for them.
They have had so many injuries though, haven't they? But Guru Wrighton, she's really stepped up and she's shown that she is somebody who they can rely on.
I mean, she hasn't had the best of season, Guru Wrighton. She'll say that by her own standards. But here, this is what she's really good at. She picks up pockets just inside and is able to hit from distance. This really set the tone for the game and really showed Guru Wrighton's intentions. But Macario, I love her positioning here, really, you know, high and central, which allows Guru Wrighton to come more central off that left-hand side and get in these goal-scoring positions.
And I think with Guru as well, she's so smart, her movement and her timing. She comes centrally here from a throw-in, finds that swivel and gets her shot off. And it makes it so hard for defenders to take responsibility, whether to step and engage or to drop off. And again here, an out-to-in run is able to recognise when the pass is coming in, and that's a pinpoint cross into the box to pick out her teammate with another finish. So she's been really important for Chelsea in this latter stages of the season.
And this is it, knowing that you are in a position where you are that person the team are looking to. Is there a level of pressure that comes with that?
Yes, a little bit, but I think she's a player that has experienced that before. And as I said, she hasn't had the best of seasons by her own standards. But when it's mattered, and it mattered against Bristol a couple of weeks ago, when it's mattered, this player's turned up and delivered, and she scored I think it was 4 goals and 3 assists. I can't remember how many assists, but she was phenomenal on that day. She set the tone and the intentions for that Chelsea team.
Okay, right. Well, we know that this title race will go down to the final day, but whose hands will it be in? Tonight it will be decided. Time to join our commentary team of Gilly Flaherty and Vicky Sparks.
Thank you, Jeanette. Good evening, everyone. 2 weeks ago, Chelsea's hopes of the title looked done and dusted. But the Women's Super League is nothing if not a roller coaster ride. For the 4th season running, the title will go down to the final day, and a win tonight would put Chelsea in pole position. Victory this evening will take them top of the table on goal difference ahead of Manchester City, heading into the final day. Slip up and it's advantage City once again. This is a side that knows how to deal with pressure. 2 months ago they were dreaming of a quadruple. Now they are looking for silverware to send Emma Hayes off in style. But she nears the end of her remarkable tenure with this club. Well, Tottenham's history-making afternoon at Wembley on Sunday ended in disappointment as they lost their first ever Women's FA Cup final to Manchester United. Grace Clinton, on loan from United, returns after being ineligible for that game. She replaces top scorer Martha Thomas. Barbara Votikova deputises for regular first-choice goalkeeper Becky Spencer, who picked up a knock at Wembley, and Celine Bizet comes in for Matilda Winberg. Chelsea's top scorer and their newly crowned player of the year, Lauren James, does make the bench after injury, as Emma Hayes also makes 3 changes. Macario, Lawrence and Leipold in for Nuskin, Ingle and Perisset. Chelsea have never failed to beat Tottenham in their 13 encounters in the modern era. Keep that record going and they will sit top of the table heading into the final day. Well, there she is, Emma Hayes. This her penultimate match in charge. Ginny Flaherty, the pressure is on. This is a manager who knows all about pressure, and these players do as well.
Yeah, I mean, she's obviously got a lot of experience in the game. Obviously, I was fortunate enough to play underneath her, but if any manager is suited to being in this position, it's Emma Hayes, and she'll know how to get the best out of her players.
Well, they wrote it off publicly. Certainly Emma Hayes did. Their title chances after that topsy-turvy defeat by Liverpool a fortnight ago, but 2 weeks, it appears, is a long time in football. And that woman there, Aggie Beever-Jones, has been so instrumental in their recent results. 6 goals in her last 4 league games, braces in her last 2 against Liverpool and against Bristol City. And it is an attacking lineup that Emma Hayes has named today as the 2 captains, Millie Bryce and Bethany England, formerly of Chelsea herself, come together on the halfway line. Well, for Tottenham, they know they will finish 6th in the WSL. It's been an impressive season under manager Robert Villeham. But this is all about how they respond to the disappointment of losing that first major final in their history to Manchester United. And of course, they didn't have Grace Clinton for that game. On loan from Manchester United, how key is she going to be this evening?
She's going to be huge, Vicky. I think even just watching the game on the weekend, we know how much she was missing from that cup game and how much Tottenham missed her. So they're going to be delighted that she's able to get back in there today and be the link-up play, especially for Beth England and bringing the ball up from the midfield.
So Tottenham get us underway in Emma Hayes' penultimate game in charge of Chelsea as a remarkable 12 years with the club nears its conclusion. Will it end with their 5th WSL title in a row? They cannot afford more slip-ups. This is must-win. Anything else and their destiny will be out of their hands come the final day. And Bethany England looking to get Tottenham off to a bright start. Lawrence is down for Chelsea. Bethany England dispossessed by Cuthbert, who will clear up towards halfway. Here is Spence. Another former Chelsea player. There's a lot of connections between this Tottenham side and former spells with the Blues. Such a long-standing servant of the club was Drew Spence, and finding a former Chelsea teammate as well in Bethany England. And here is Aggie Beever-Jones. Hamana given away to Bethany England. If you're Tottenham, Gilly, can you play with the pressure off in this game, as Robert Villeham has suggested, the fact they know they're 6th in the WSL?
Yeah, I think they need to have a reaction after the weekend, because I don't really think they played that well, in all honesty, against United. Obviously, you can look at the occasion, but I do think that Tottenham need to take some hope from Liverpool, the performance that they put in.
Here come Chelsea, Macario's drive, and a first test for Barbara Votikova in the Tottenham goal. Simonet. for Chelsea, given the nod again ahead of Hannah Hampton, who had established herself very much as the #1 for Chelsea.
I do feel like with Emma, though, with the goalkeepers, I think Hampton come in, she does really well. I think people will read into it that she's not played the last 2 games, but I think, listen, she's played a lot of minutes, and I do think that Emma's sort of the person that will go, listen, if results ain't there, we're not keeping clean sheets, we're not getting results, that person will chop and change, and it doesn't matter who you are.
And at the other end, a chance for Barbara Votikova to impress Robert Villeham. Maggie Spencer, the former Chelsea player herself, picking up a knock, as we mentioned, in that FA Cup final. It was a difficult afternoon for her, in truth. An error for that 3rd Manchester United goal scored by Lucia Garcia. This is a bright start from Tottenham, though. Naz getting the better of Lawrence, but the flag is up on the far side. And Chelsea will have a free kick. Big week for Jess Naz, receiving her first England's call-up at senior level.
I also do think as well, when Naz comes into the central position, I know obviously Beth England at the moment is taking up that left-hand side, but Jessica Naz will offer you that stretch, where sometimes Beth England likes to come to get on the ball, whereas Naz will naturally stretch the back line. You can see it there between the centre-backs. Obviously, looking at this opportunity now, Makari, I mean, it's a shot from distance, and Votikova watched it really well. But it's a bit of a wake-up call as well for Tottenham to not allow a player like that amount of time and space.
Here is Brights. Hamano. Now Lawrence. Bjorn. Good ball through to find Wrighton. Has a look up. Beaver Jones. And Votikova is there once more.
I think you showed seeing the last game, obviously, against Bristol, how dangerous. Guru Wrighton finding her form again here. You could argue that there's not really many bodies in the box as such for Chelsea, but she does put through the pullback. Beaver Jones not able to really get much on it to trouble Votikova, but Chelsea will be wanting bodies in there to really get across the penalty box and getting across the defenders.
Here is Lawrence. Taken away from Beaver Jones. High line balls. Beaver Jones is waiting for it. Hamano won't keep it in. Well, it has been a very impressive first season for Robert Villeham, reaching, of course, that first major final in Tottenham's history. They will finish 6th in the WSL. They've secured that position. Can't finish any higher, can't finish any lower. And as Ashley Neville, their non-serving defender, pointed out after that defeat by Manchester United, you know, this time last year, they were fighting relegation. Now they're sitting comfortably mid-table, playing in the FA Cup final. Eva Jones was in there, it's cleared away by Tottenham. Mano trying to keep it alive and does well. Good strength away from Bethany England. Here is Lawrence. Chelsea just settling into their stride. Charles. Macario. Lovely back heel. Wrighton getting involved, and Beaver Jones is waiting. It's over her head. Lawrence keeps it alive. Hamano. Here is Bright. And all of a sudden, Tottenham are dropping deep. Good pressure from Naz, though. As we say, that first senior England call-up, she's on standby for this summer squad. Serena Wiegmann has named a 28-player squad for all 4 summer internationals in the European qualifiers that takes them through to mid-July. Here is Charles. Right and pointing to where she wants it. Charles with the higher delivery. The fall to Hermano. Oh, is that a handball? Big decision for Emily Heaslip, and she says no, the referee. Bjorn under pressure from Naz at the other end. And it's all the way back with Mušović. Here is Lawrence. No VAR, of course, what the referee says on the pitch goes. And here is Lipos. Hermano. Cuthbert, lovely layout to Hermano. Chelsea clicking into gear. Macario. Lipos. To Charles. Here is Wrighton. Macario wants it. Macario gets it. And Vosikova's there.
I've just been watching Macario for the last few minutes or so and what her position is, and obviously we was a bit unsure if she was going to go up top as a two up top with Aggie Beaver-Jones, but she's really dropping in. I mean, it's hard. The arm is next to the body. I say it's a distance away, so she could really move it, but I think I don't know if it takes a deflection initially to then land on Buller. The referee's in a good position though, I think, because actually I think she can see it all, and she's not afraid, that referee, Emily, to make big decisions as well, but Tottenham probably been lucky to get away with that one. I mean, as a centre-back now, I'm going to argue and I'd say that's not a handball, because if it happened against me, I'd be fuming.
Yes, it's that whole question of unnaturally bigger, isn't it? I think that's the key point, Gilly. Perhaps, although slow motion always makes things different, but could have got it out of the way. But is it in that unnatural a position? Game of opinions, isn't it?
It is, and like I said, as a centre-back, it is hard, because the body, her arms are by her side. Maybe if they was out a little bit wider, then potentially, yes, you'd say that's a penalty. But it does look like it takes a little deflection beforehand as well, but forwards would be calling for a pen, centre-backs, no.
Well, Bethany England down here. Emily Heaslip, our referee, just waiting to make sure that Tottenham's captain is okay. It's been a busy few minutes for her.
She loves it though, this referee, didn't she? She loves the busy moments. Yeah, I think it's just Leopold's coming off her back shoulder there. Beth England don't really see much of her until it's too late, but I don't think there's much in that at all.
Here is England. Oh, that's a good ball to find Naz. Milden's made the run into the centre, and the flag once more has gone up against Jess Naz.
I think with Jess Naz, it's about patience, you know, and I think as a defender, you're looking at that back line. They know that that's what she naturally wants to do, is run and stretch in behind, and they'll just hold that line and be brave of it. So it's Naz, you don't have to cheat. So get able to just watch the replay. I mean, her bottom half is pointing out a little bit. I think there'll be a lot of arguments there. It should have been a pen, but that's why I'm glad I'm up here, not down there, Vicky.
Here is Nilden. Cleared away by Lawrence. Cuthbert wins the header.
Stay inside, Michael, stay inside.
You wonder what emotions are running through her heart right now. I'm sure she's focused on this title charge, but this wonderful spell at Chelsea coming to an end as Beaver-Jones slips at the crucial moment. Vosikova will clear away. Whether they end this season empty-handed or not, Gilly, her legacy at Chelsea will never be in doubt.
Oh yeah, it'll never be touched again, I don't think, either, what she's achieved for the club. And obviously I was there at the very beginning when she come in, and then she had this big recruitment and she had this big vision for the club. And like I said, a lot will be remembered of what she's done on the pitch, but what she's done off the pitch for Chelsea Football Club is huge, and she's a big part of the history.
Here goes Wrighton taking on Neville, and doing so quite brilliantly. Can't pick out Macario though. And Bethany England will clear away.
I mean, it's a good pull back there, but you're probably hoping as well that You've got Macario, who's just run a little bit ahead of it, but Erin Cuthbert as well, she's practically in line with Aggie Beaver-Jones. She can be that midfielder that's joining in, but sit on the edge of the box to be picking up those second balls.
Here is Spence. James Turner. Well, before that FA Cup final defeat on Sunday, Tottenham, they had been on a good run, 7 games unbeaten. They are unbeaten in their last 5 WSL games. That includes a draw with Manchester United, who beat them at the weekend. Here come Chelsea. Oh, space for Hamano. Should have been 1-0. What a chance. Still waiting to open her Chelsea account, the Japan international. And she hasn't had many better opportunities than that.
I think the amount of joy that Chelsea are getting down that left-hand side with Charles, with Wrighton here. You're looking again, there's space on the edge of the box, but Charles goes right to the back post of Hamano. She should do better there. She should be hitting the target. It's a great run from Charles. Comes at the back post, completely switched off defensively, Tottenham, but she's going for the diving header. She has to hit the target there, has to.
Huge opportunity for Chelsea. Forward by Bjorn. Right, and loses out to Neville. Macario to Leipold, and all the way back to Zajira Mušević. Hamano. Tottenham win it back. Here is Naz. And look at Bizet racing through. If Naz can find her, went for goal instead. Tame in the end.
In my opinion, that's a poor decision from Naz. Good Bizet on the right-hand side there. So much space, just play her in. Decides to go for the luxurious one, decides to go for the world beater. It's easy for Mušević.
Maybe she saw Serena Wiegmann in the crowd.
Maybe.
Don't put me on standby, put me in the squad. Huge moment for Jess Naz. She will be delighted, even if it is standby, to be involved at senior level for England for the first time this summer. Plenty of Chelsea interest, of course, in that squad as well. Grace Clinton as well for Tottenham. She's in the main squad as Hamano almost dispossessed by Spence. Beaver-Jones has it. Beaver-Jones be with the Lionesses. Or hope to make her debut at some point over this summer. Here is Nilden. Cleared away by Müller. Lawrence takes it away from England. Leipold to Cuthbert. Hamano. Mušević has come a long way and had to. Bizet was closing that down well. She's looking lively.
She is, and I like her down the central as well. This is obviously the opportunity here. She goes to go on her right, and then she cuts it back across to her left, and it just cuts out being able to make that pass to Bizet on the right-hand side.
Here come Chelsea. Charles, early delivery away by James Turner. Spence will help it on. Clinton. Taken away from her by Leipold, and Cuthbert to shoot. Votakova spills it. No blue shirts near enough to take advantage. Well, she scored a couple of worldies this season. Erin Cuthbert fancied her chances there.
Yeah, and Cuthbert's a player, you know, as soon as she picks up here on the edge of the box, she's got one thing on her mind, and that's to drill it, have a go. And she's a player that can do it as well. She stepped up, produced some worldy goals for Chelsea.
Macario. Wrighton. Lovely ball through to Beaver Jones. There's Buller for company. Over the head of Macario. Some of them will clear away. And here is Millie Bright, another of those involved with the Lionesses for the first time since October. Which has been a big miss for England and for Chelsea. 5.5 months out this season with a knee injury. Back in the fold now for club and country. Right, a lovely turn. Not quite the lovely finish. Well, she's asking referee Emily Heaslip for something, Guro Wrighton.
Yeah, I'm not too sure what that's about, but Tottenham are really struggling on this right-hand side here. Neville, Bizet. Guro Wrighton should never be able to pick that ball up there with Ashley Neville standing next to her. So I'm not too sure what she's moaning about there.
Well, there's a little bit of contact from Neville afterwards, but she's already skied it.
Yeah, no, you can't blame Neville for that one. But just off the camera as well, Vicky there, Bizet went down holding, I don't know if she's having a little stretch, but potentially struggling on that right-hand side of the ball. She has got a lot to do down there. You've got Charles and got Wrighton bombing forward.
Here is Leipold, and now Beaver Jones taken off her toes, and Tottenham will try and counter. Tottenham, who have never so much as taken a point off Chelsea in the modern era. A point for them would be a nice way to bounce back from that FA Cup final defeat. A point for Chelsea tonight would be hugely damaging to their title hopes. A reminder, they need to win this evening. They want to go top of the table on goal difference ahead of Manchester City, going into those final games on Saturday. It is so tight, and here is Charles. Wrighton, cleared away. Excellent defending by James Turner. Chelsea come again. Beaver Jones is in there. Buller this time gets to it. And here goes Naz. Chelsea wary of the threat. The 23-year-old poses. 6 goals she scored this season, her best goal-scoring season of her career. And it's a career, Gilly, as well, that was halted for a period of time with an ACL injury that she picked up as a youngster. 16 months she had out, and were it not for that, she might have got this senior England call-up a little sooner than this week.
Yeah, and it's a difficult one with that injury, because, like you said, it's not just a straightforward 9 months out, 12 months out. There could be complications. You could end up tearing more than other players, so it's really hard to compare your time with that injury compared to other players in the game. But she's been patient, she's took her time, she's took her opportunities as well when she's come in, and she's fully deserved it.
Here is Simonen. Milton. Spence. Now Clinton. Beautiful skill or a bit of luck. Let's see. Not quite the finish. Which one was it, Gilly?
I'm not going to take nothing away from Clinton there, but I don't believe for 1 second she meant to do that. I think she meant to play to Drew Spence inside, ending up twisting herself up, twisting the Chelsea players up, but got away with it. We've seen she's another one, a bit like Ella Toon, a bit like Cuthbert, who like a shot from distance on the edge of the box. She's a player that can produce as well. Obviously, again, on this right-hand side here, Tottenham are struggling with it. I mean, it's so poor defending. You cannot allow a player like Guru Wright to run off your shoulder completely unmarked. She should do better there as well, in all honesty.
They are slicing Tottenham apart. That Chelsea left-hand side, the combinations between Charles and Wrighton. But still, we are goalless midway through this first half. England, inadvertently, plays it towards Wrighton. Good defending by James Turner. Knocks us off Spence, and here is Hamano. Beaver Jones, fouled by Buller. Chelsea free kick.
That was clever from Beaver Jones as well, because that was rocketed into her as well. Buller was too far away, but you can see she's steaming out, and Aggie Beaver Jones just needs to take a little touch, which is what she does. It's not under control from Beaver Jones, but because she gets that first initial contact, anything after that with Buller, she knows she's going to get a free kick, and it's a great chance now in a dangerous position for Chelsea to put the ball into the box.
Well, they've been on top, the defending WSL champions. They're chasing their 5th league title in a row. It would be their 7th in their history, all under Emma Hayes. They need to win this game. Otherwise, it's out of their hands on the final day as they and Manchester City go head-to-head. Can they find the breakthrough here? Macario to send it in. Poor delivery.
You'd be expecting better from that distance out. It's one of those ones where you don't necessarily have to hit it really hard. You just got to put it into a dangerous area where there's a bit of a hesitation between the defenders and the goalkeepers. I was watching Clinton as well, because it seemed like she did pull Leopold's down. But it's just that one where it's really overhitting. Unless you have a deliberate back post runner, it's sort of a bit wide. But you see here, Clinton does pull Leopold's. See, she's not happy about it either, but gets away with it.
So more potential penalty conversations for Chelsea. Macario. Charles. Macario. Looking to release Charles. Bizzetti's there, Neville clears away. Now Macario, Wrighton. Charles will chase, Wrighton's down, and Emily Heaslip says that's not enough of an advantage. I'm giving you the free kick.
I think Chelsea will be pleased with that decision, because she did look to play advantage, but Charles has ended up right in the corner and not really gained much from it. And it's Ashley Neville's late. She catches Guru Wrighton on the left foot. And another dangerous position now for Chelsea to put the ball into the box. But just to watch that previous one, obviously we see the pull from Clinton there. Leopold is not happy about it, but it's just that delivery as well. It's got to be a better delivery now.
What can they do from this set piece? Wrighton's over at Macario as well, who looks to have a little problem with her eye there. There is a bit of a scratch there on Katerina Macario's cheek. Emily Heaslip, don't think has seen that. She might have to go off to get that patched up when the referee spots it. Wrighton it is, he sends it in, wicked delivery. Right, trying to latch onto it. Milden's there for Tottenham. And Naz will clear and win the free kick as well. But that was a better delivery, Gilly Flaherty.
Yeah, because I think as well, people thought Macario was going to take that delivery. I mean, it does look like a nasty scratch to her face. Yeah, it looks like a nasty one there. But in regards to that delivery, I thought Beaver Jones, that's when you probably need the diving header. Really go for it, attack it. I think it is Beaver Jones across the near post here. There, get your head on it. You know, do what Hamana done, do the diving header. So just able to watch the pullback here. I mean, she's got, for me, that's a pen. Whether it's I mean, in my opinion, that's a penalty. I'm not even going to go to the old logistics of it, Vicky. That's a penalty.
Not given, though, by Emily Heaslip, our referee. Macario's playing on as well, despite that bleeding cut on her cheek. And Chelsea have the throw. Here's Beaver Jones. Cuthbert, a little bit of space to turn into. Wrighton as an option. Here she is, Gura Wrighton. Finds Cuthbert once more, but James Turner does well. Leipold's now. Bright. Forward by Bjorn, too much on it for Aggie Beaver Jones. Well, they have come here in their numbers, those Chelsea fans, but some pensive faces among them. As it stands, they are 2 points behind Manchester City, Emma Hayes' side, heading into the final day. A few jeers as Vortakova and Tottenham just take their time over that goal kick. It's just started to happen in the last few minutes as they try to repel the blue waves of pressure. Beaver Jones is in there. Can't get the purchase on the header. Bethany England has spent more time, I think, defending inside her own penalty area and certainly inside her own half. And she has done, breaking the lines at the other ends as Clinton steers it away from Hamano. Good play. Loses out though to Cuthbert. Good strength. Won't quite run for Beaver Jones initially, but Tottenham making a mess of clearing this. In the end, Vortakova comes to the rescue.
It's all getting a little bit confusing then in the Tottenham box. Who's going to take it? Who's going to take responsibility for it? But here, Grace Clinton gets away. She has to release the ball. You're not going to be able to keep doing that. Erin Cuthbert, that is her game. She'll be all over you. Then here is that. Who's taking responsibility? You've got Guru Ryan coming in off the back shoulder. Vortakova comes out and takes control of it.
Here is Clinton, England. Throw goes the way of Tottenham. Meldon with the throw to England. Interception by Hamano. Well, it's a rare enjoyment of Chelsea territory for Tottenham. What can they do with it? Here is Naz, footing by Macario. It was a good one, and Lawrence back to Mušević. Plenty for Serena Wiegmann to ponder ahead of those huge games over the summer. What do you make of the naming of the squad for all 4 internationals, Gilly, which takes us up to mid-July? Yes, there are 4 players on standby, so there's a bit of flexibility. And of course, no domestic football, no chance to impress with club during that time.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's a positive for players who potentially thought they could have been involved and not, because then they know that they're not involved. So they can go away, they can get their holidays, they can get their rest. and you're working them with that same core group of players, which obviously, listen, England have some very, very, very important games coming up.
Yeah, double header against France, and then the Republic of Ireland and Sweden to finish, as they look to finish in the top 2 of their Euro 2025 qualification group, which would see them straight through to the tournament. Otherwise, it'll be the playoffs for the reigning European champions, and they are in an exceptionally tough group. Forward by Clinton. Lovely little layoff by Nilden. England to Spence. Lipals is there. Nilden wins it back. Spence sends it ahead of Bizet. As we say, they have been tough to beat in the WSL recently. Tottenham unbeaten in their last 5 league games since they 1-0 defeated Arsenal back in March. If they avoid defeat, incidentally, they will equal their longest unbeaten run in the WSL. And for Tottenham, yes, Chelsea have a title to play for, but for Tottenham, this is about responding from that heavy FA Cup final defeat and seeing out what has been an impressive first season for Robert Villahamn with a bit of momentum, just re-establishing that platform which they'll look to build on next season. Here come Chelsea. Macario has space. Will she go for goal? Yes, she will. Beaten away by Votakova. That wasn't convincing. Neither was Wrighton. Neville will clear. Macario wins it back. Cuthbert. Bjorn looking for options. Charles has it, taking on Bizet. Macario does love to drop deep to get involved in play, the USA international, who of course will continue to work with Emma Hayes after she departs the club. At country level, huge summer coming up for the USA as well, the Olympics in Paris. Huge tournament in the women's game. Here is Bjorn. Charles. Wrighton finds Charles once more, but it's behind Lipals, and Simonon clears away.
You're just talking as well about Macario, about her dropping deeper, and I feel like no one knows who's picking her up. The midfielders don't want her. The centre-backs don't want to step out and get tight to her. If you've got a player like that, and she's going past the midfield line, you have to pass her on. If she's not going past the midfield line and you can't get your midfielder to screen, and as a centre-back, James Turner, you have to get tight to her and don't allow her to dictate play.
Because she is so dangerous when she's allowed to do that, Katerina Macario. Another who has had her injury problems not just this season, but over the past couple of years. Oh, big shouts from the Chelsea fans for another potential penalty there. Not really from the players, has to be said. Nervy clearance from Neville, and Votakova will claim.
I think it was Clinton going to clear the ball and hitting it up against Simonon.
Lovely ball by Nilden to find Spence. Now it's the Tottenham fans' turn to shout for handball, and this time the whistle does go.
Yeah, it was a good save, didn't it? Wasn't it there by Bjorn? But no, yeah, that's a clear decision. Obviously, just able to watch it here again. Yeah, I mean, it's hard. Where can she put her arm there? And it's such a close distance as well.
Yeah, unsurprising perhaps that the players didn't appeal for that one, but of course those Chelsea fans behind that goal that Chelsea are attacking are going to scream for every decision. They need a win here, Chelsea, to keep their destiny in their own hands going into the final day. Here is Wrighton. Eva Jones is in the centre. What a time to get your first Chelsea goal! Micah Hamano makes no mistake that time. And in this must-win game, Chelsea hit the front against Tottenham.
It's a great finish at the back post, but again, Vicky, this has just come from Macario being able to drop off the back line here. Amy James Turner, I don't know why she's so far away from her. There's no direct threat on the back line. She's literally deeper than everyone else. The ball comes in whipped across the box. And Amana's there to be able to just pop in at the back post. It's a great ball from Brighton. Superb ball from her. But Amana's there to be brave, but that has come from James Turner. If Macario is standing in front of her, you have to get tight, you have to stay with her. You don't. You let her drop off her, you're deeper than the whole of the rest of your back line, and then you're allowing her to dictate play and control it. And it was only going to be a matter of time before Macario doing that was going to punish Tottenham. It's a great finish, though, from Hermano at the back post.
And even Emma Hayes, who so often keeps her emotions under control, she certainly did as the goals were flying in against Bristol City, can't stop herself with that little clenched double fist. She knows how key that goal was, because Tottenham have frustrated Chelsea, and to get the breakthrough before half-time just alleviates that pressure a little bit. Free kick for the foul on Beaver Jones.
It's a huge goal for Chelsea. And at the time as well, you're looking, obviously, Tottenham went through similar against Man United. Obviously, it was a bit later, that goal, but again, you do so well in the first half to defend and defend. But for me, that was poor defending from Tottenham. It was poor defending, and you're just feeding into what Macario's strengths are. And they've only got themselves to blame, and they've been punished for it. But yeah, you see the relief on Emma's face. It's going to be a difficult afternoon. Aggie Beaver-Jones there with the skills. Obviously, Drew Spence coming in late, but you don't want that frustration as well to build in for Tottenham, because they're still in the game.
Well, they have fallen behind Tottenham in each of their last 3 WSL games. They've not lost any of them. They've drawn all 3. So they are certainly capable of responding. But this is a Chelsea side who 2 weeks ago thought they had thrown the title away. That 4-3 defeat at Liverpool, their former player Gemma Bonner scoring the winner in added time. And with Manchester City minutes away from beating Arsenal, it looked like it was up for Chelsea. But then those 2 goals from Stina Blackstenius, that thumping win over Bristol City for Chelsea later that evening. All of a sudden, as things stand, they're in pole position once more going into the final day. Hermano cleared away by Tottenham, bright forwards. They want a second before half-time, Chelsea. Hermano once more. Good strength, and does well to find Lawrence as well on the stretch. Leipold, Samano, Cuthbert, Leipold. This is lovely from Chelsea. Beaver-Jones is in there. Bula was there for Tottenham. And they do keep hold of it through Clinton. Right there once more. Forwards by Macario. Beaver-Jones can't hold on to it. And James Turner will clear. Won't be kept in by Ashley Neville. Chelsea have the throw.
I think Tottenham as well, just watching them, they need a lot more support on the ball. When they've got the ball, so many of their players just run away. Not offering support, so they've got nothing, so they're turning it over and you're playing straight into Chelsea's hands.
So there we go, as it stands, those Chelsea fans know they are top of the table. A goal difference 2 better than Manchester City's, and it could well come down to goal difference on the final day. Chelsea away to Manchester United, Manchester City away to Aston Villa. Old Trafford, Villa Park, that's where the drama will be, and we will have it for you. The WSL final day. Join us on Saturday. Coverage starts at 2:40 on BBC Two. And you can catch all the highlights from what is set to be a thrilling final day on the Women's Football Show on BBC One Saturday night at 11:35. Here is Neville. Clinton on the move. Nicely done by Charles to find Cuthbert. Beaver-Jones. Cuthbert once more. To Turned into trouble with Bizet, but does retain possession, the Scotland midfielder. And Charles brings it forward once again. Ryson. Early delivery, Hamano's there again, and this time can't connect.
I feel sorry for Ashley Neville as well on the right-hand side there, because she's just 2v1, sometimes even 3v1. You've got Bizet who's steaming out against Bjorn and leaves Charles free on the right-hand side for Ashley Neville, then a 2v1. See Hamano coming in again at the back post. Milden, I don't know if it's potentially landing funny and landed awkwardly then as well, but she seems to be in quite a bit of discomfort.
Yes, looks a painful one, this, for Neildon. But this is the goal that so far separates the sides and is sending Chelsea top of the tree.
Yeah, it's a huge ball. It's a brilliant ball across the back line. It's a really difficult one for defenders as well, because it's one of those ones where you're running, but you're facing your own goal. You try and put a leg out, it could end up in your own goal. But Hamano does so well to look it off at the back post, and sometimes players in those wide areas sometimes do switch off when the ball's on the opposite side. She stays alive. She should have had a header already, so she stayed alive and got another chance and does the right thing and puts it in the back of the net.
Yeah, I was going to say, she went with the boot that time rather than the head. Do you think the earlier chance from the edge of the 6-yard box might have been in her mind?
Well, it might have put her off going with her head on that one. Main thing for her, I think, listen, it goes in. Doesn't matter what body part, as long as it's not your hands. Doesn't matter what body part it hits, as long as the ball goes in the back of the net.
Well, there is concern here for Amanda Neildon.
If it's like maybe a catch on a standing foot, maybe a planted one. Is it here? Yeah, a little bit of they're not that nice, to be fair, Vicky, as well. They've a couple of them where it's a little bit of like an ankle roll. Your ankle goes out a little bit, it can be really painful.
Well, a chance for both sets of players to come over and receive some instructions as Neildon is helped to her feet by Ashley Neville. Well, she's been a big player for them since she arrived in January on loan from Juventus. They do have an option to buy. As we enter 4 minutes of added time, there will be a little bit more with this injury for Amanda Neildon, and Emma Hayes and Millie Bright's deep in discussion. It's going to be a huge change for these Chelsea players at the end of this season, isn't it? We already know the likes of Fran Kirby and Mara Mjelde, both on the bench today, both hugely long-serving players, will be leaving when their contracts expire. And for Millie Bright, you know, she's been with the club since 2014. She knows Emma Hayes. You know, it's a decade they've spent together. It's going to be a huge adjustment because Emma Hayes, quite simply, is Chelsea.
Yeah, and it's hard because me as a player, I didn't really like change. I didn't really like it when a new manager comes in, because you feel like you've then got to re-impress someone, you know, and some players will not be a manager's cup of tea. That's just the way of life. But there will be a lot of change, both personnel as well for players. No players are leaving, but there's always going to be new players coming in, and that's just the way football is. It's constantly revolving, and there's no player or manager or anyone that's bigger than the football club as a whole. So change can be scary, but it also can be very exciting, and I think it's Chelsea will always be in safe hands.
And you touched on it earlier, Gilly, Emma Hayes, the legacy that she's left off the pitch as well as on it. I was there for the second leg against Barcelona in the Champions League semi-final. They sold out Stamford Bridge for the first time for a women's match in her final game there. And players like Lauren James will look to continue the legacy on the pitch that Emma Hayes has built over her 12 years. 13 major trophies, 15 in all. Her side ahead here, and Tottenham forced into a change, and this does not look good at all for Amanda Neildon. And Hermano is coming across. I mean, it was completely accidental, that little catch on Nilden's ankle as they came together in the landing, but it's proved too much to recover from in this game. And Amanda Nilden will not be able to continue, and that is a sad way for any player to see their game end, and our best wishes very much go with her. So the change is made. The Australia international Charlotte Grant, also a January arrival for Tottenham. Australian PFA Young Player of the Year last season. Replaces Nilden. Bjorn steers it away from Bizet. Cleared away by James Turner. Spence is there, and it will break kindly for Bethany England, and this is where Tottenham have to send the white shirts forward and try and hit Chelsea on the counter. That's exactly what they're doing. They do retain it. Here's Bizet. Grant getting involved immediately as an option, but Mušević is there, and they needed a better delivery from Celine Bizet.
Yeah, they definitely need a better delivery, but it was better from Tottenham. There was a couple of times where that ball was getting pinged about, and I thought it was going to be overrun. Good little link-up play here from Drew Spence, Beth England. Great ball out from Beth England. Bizet there, that's the quality that you need to be a little bit better.
Here comes Tottenham again. Clinton on the turn, pressured by Leipold. The manager at Manchester United, Mark Skinner, has made it very clear in the aftermath of the FA Cup they want to bring her back to Manchester United. She's had a brilliant season, and here she is, dragging the effort wide. But good position she took up there on the edge of the box, just not the finish.
Yeah, really good position, because she really starts to move. She picks it up, she plays it through to Drew Spence. Here, he lets it, little dummy over the top for Jessica Nance, but Grace Littleton carries on her run. Chelsea completely switched off, no one's even aware that she's there. But she should be doing better there. That seems to be a bit of an end of a tired run. Now you're just lacking that little bit of quality. Doesn't really connect with it as she probably wants to, but yes, Chelsea fell asleep, but Clinton couldn't punish.
Can Chelsea punish Tottenham at the other end? Macario, Wrighton, straight into Simonen, but will come straight back to Wrighton. Played it into James Turner, who clears. Good play by Simonen. Colliding with Leipold, advantage is played. Simonen still down, out of your picture, but here goes Naz. Oh, lovely footwork. And whipped across the 6-yard box. And Ashley Neville, one of those who has her head in her hands, because she knows that Naz did so well to carve out that opportunity. Nobody in the 6-yard box. And perhaps just a little too much on the cross in any case.
Yeah, and just watching the players' runs, everyone then goes back the opposite way. No one makes that back post run. Everyone comes more towards the 6-yard line or towards the middle, the penalty spot. Well, you need someone, a bit like Hermano then, what we just see from her goal. You need a back post runner.
Here is Lawrence. Mušević. Doesn't quite feel safe yet for Chelsea. Of course, another half to go, so time-wise certainly isn't. But just from what we've seen from Tottenham in the last 5 minutes or so, they sense that there is a way back into this game for them.
Yeah, and I also think whilst the score stays 1-0, Vicky, then they only need one chance. And it's not like they haven't really created anything, because they have been getting into the final third. It's just the decision-making from Tottenham and the quality.
Poor decision-making there from Bjorn for Chelsea, but Spencer's lost it. Here goes Charles. We'll just keep that ball from Wrighton in. Cuthbert. And here she goes, Erin Cuthbert. And opted to find Wrighton instead, who will reach it. Just wonder whether Cuthbert could have continued there. Here is Macario. Oh, beautiful footwork. Oh, sticking to her like glue. And then claimed by Votikova as the final action of the half. Oh, she still needs to go and get treatment for that cut, Macario. Sure, she'll do that at half-time, but it's her goal that separates the sides. Maika Hamano, her first for Chelsea. She missed a big chance with her head. She made no mistake from close range with her boots. And it's a goal that, as things stand, is sending Chelsea top of the table, ahead of Manchester City on goal difference, heading into this final day. But we still have a half to play. Do we expect more twists? Do we expect more turns, Tilly Flaherty?
I'd expect more goals. But yeah, I think, listen, whilst it's 1-0, Tottenham are still in the game. They've done well defensively. They've just switched off a couple of times. He's just tidied up on a few little things. But yeah, whilst the scoreline is like this, both teams still much in it.
Half-time. Tottenham 0, Chelsea 1.
Oh, there you go. Thank you very much to Vicky and to Gilly. Tottenham trailing here at home against this title-chasing Chelsea, and it is what we expected tonight, isn't it, Anita, from Chelsea? But as Gilly said, you'd expect a few more goals, maybe.
Yeah, Chelsea obviously started the game really brightly. They were dominating possession. They were getting a lot of joy, especially down the left-hand side. Tottenham had a few warning shots early on, and then obviously late on they were able to capitalise. But Tottenham really have allowed Chelsea to build and into the game more than they have.
I mean, I guess from a Tottenham perspective, like we said, they played in the FA Cup final on Sunday. They're going to have tired legs, but also emotionally quite tired as well. It's going to be hard for them to pick it up, isn't it?
Yeah, it is going to be difficult, but they've had opportunities and they've neglected those opportunities. They're being forced to defend deep. Obviously, we expected that from this Chelsea team, be dominant in possession, force Tottenham deep. But they have players that have pace in those transitions. But every time it's gone forward into really good areas, they've neglected it and come back in, allowed Chelsea to recover and start new attacks. So they really have neglected that part of the game.
They neglected that part of the game, but one thing that Chelsea have been consistent with, Anita, is that left-hand side. They have been going at it. It's been a route, a pathway for them for some good success tonight.
Yeah, because the rotation and movement down the left-hand side between Guru Wrighton and Neve Charles and Macario, they're taking up good positions where they're just exploiting the fullback, especially Ashley Neville, who's having to do a lot of work to try and defend three players. And you see here Macario picks up the ball, the nice connection here. Guru Wrighton probably has a bit more time to get a shot off.
Yeah, I think what's been good about it is you see here is Charles that's keeping the width. Guru Wrighton's able to come central towards goal to get the shot away, and then Macario was out of the picture there, is actually narrow but a little bit deeper. So the three of them are picking up different positions and are rotating that within the game. You see here, this is Macario who picks out really deep. You'll see Guru Wrighton narrow, and then, Guru Wrighton on this occasion is wider, and then you'll see Charles backing it up, and this is where the goal comes from. Yeah. So it's been coming for this Chelsea team all half, and that rotation down that left-hand side has really worked for them.
And I guess also, you mentioned Ashley Neville, the fact that defensively she kind of looks like she's out there on her own, Anita.
Yeah, I think Tottenham just look very disjointed, and I wonder if they're really communicating with each other, because they're allowing those gaps between the defence and midfield to get too big. So when that rotation happens and they drop into the pocket space, there's not a player picking up or screening those players.
Yeah, but for Maika Hamano, what her first goal for her, and what a way to do it as well, Farah. A word on that.
Yeah, I mean, it was a really good goal, and there was a big chance she missed early on, so she'll be happy that she executed this one. But she's got in some really good positions down this right-hand side. She knows that the ball's going to come in with quality from that left, and she makes them late runs from out to in from the right-hand side, and as you said there, got her goal.
Yeah, and in terms of like the goal difference as well, that's going to be vital. There are 2 penalty shouts potentially that have not gone their way.
Yeah, I mean, I think Chelsea want to score more goals. I think it will add a bit more pressure on Man City. They'll be disappointed potentially to have not at least got one of those penalty calls. You see here, as the ball comes in, it pops out second phase, and as the shot comes off, Boula's hand, actually, she sort of makes a movement towards the ball. And Farah and I were both discussing this, and we think if VAR was involved in this situation, that would probably most definitely be a penalty.
Yeah, and obviously this is the second one. And you can just see here, I think because Grace Clinton has been doing this quite often in-game, I think there's a definite shout for a penalty. It would be soft, but I do think with VAR, it might have been given.
Yeah, I mean, it is frustrating, isn't it? But at the same time, this is where we are with the game. There's no VAR, so you've got to be able to park that and move on, Farah.
Yeah, and they was able to do that because they were disappointed with some of the shouts going against them, or probably not getting what they should have. But they kept at it, and it was the 38th minute they then got the breakthrough. And I think they'll come out in the second half now full of confidence and be on the front foot because they know how important this goal difference is going to be.
That is the thing, being on the front foot, being an attacking side, really going out there now and trying to chase those goals, maybe secure those points first and then just go for the goals because there's just 2 goals in it as it stands for the title.
Yeah, and it's only still 1-0. Yeah. So, you know, the longer this game goes on, Tottenham will still have some belief that they can come back into it. As we've seen throughout the season, they've managed to come back late in games and get those equalisers. So it's really important that Chelsea come off to a flying start in the second half.
Yeah, you mentioned the fact that, of course, Tottenham are very much still in this. There was a chance as well just before half-time as well, Farah.
Yeah, and it's Jessica Naz, and that's the player that I'm talking about. In those transitions, she has great ability to run with the ball, but she's also got pace to get herself in behind. You can see her here. She runs the channel. She's been working most of the half centrally, but she runs the channel and finds herself in a really good position. You see here, Chelsea defenders don't come out. And it's just the wrong cross. It's a decision-making. Maybe, you know, tired legs, as you mentioned from the Wembley game. Does really well, faces the defender up, gets at her, and now it's decision-making. And for me, it wasn't the right decision for her on this occasion. But this is a big chance for Tottenham, Anita.
And this is, you know, the threat that Tottenham have with a player like Jessica Naz, who's got pace, she can get in the box and cause problems. You just want to see that bit of conviction from her, like get a shot off, make the force keeper to make a save, and maybe it parries into a central area, you know?
Well, one thing about Chelsea, they love giving us drama on the final day, right? We said this at the top. They constantly take it to the final day. The last 4 seasons, they've won it on the final day, right, Farah?
Yeah, so they've been there and done it. You can see here, I mean, I was a part of that Reading team that lost 5-0. That was my last game before retirement, so thanks for reminding me. But
sorry.
Yeah, they have a know-how, don't they? They know how to go to that final game of the season and win, and I think that's what gives them the upper hand over Manchester City. But take nothing away from that game at Old Trafford is going to be a real difficult one for this Chelsea team.
And that's why it's so important that they get as many goals as they can today against Tottenham. You know, they thrive under pressure, but I think, you know, that will just amplify the pressure on Man City.
That's the thing, they've needed a win, right? Whenever they've needed a win, they've gone in and they've been on the front foot and they know what's at stake, Anita.
Yeah, they most definitely do, and obviously they also want to send Emma Hayes off on a high. And, you know, if they can secure the win, go into the, you know, the last game of the season against Man United with that extra confidence, knowing that they're in charge in the title race, then, you know, all the work is down to Man City.
Well, all that drama just 3 days away. So here is what's coming up on the BBC. The WSL final day. You can join us, BBC 2, this Saturday from 2:40 to see that title decided live. Who will it be? Also, on Saturday, the women's under-17s European Championships final. Spain against England. England have just finished their semi-final against Poland. They won that 2-0. You can see the final on Saturday from 3:45 on the iPlayer. And of course, those under-17s, they are the Tooneys and the Russos of the future. But the Tooney and Russo of now, they've got their own podcast. It's available on BBC Sounds. Also on BBC.
Give me the loving! Now, stay back. We are going to rock through time.
Oh, this is so Bridgerton.
No job. No boss. Just fun. Catching monsters, getting into scrapes. So I keep moving on to see the next thing, and the next, and the next. Have you ever felt so alive?
Brand new Doctor Who. Watch on BBC iPlayer.
There's a lot going on in women's football at the moment, and Jo Curry, well, she's always got her finger on the pulse.
Yes, Jeanette, the action on the pitch may come to an end in 3 days' time, but the news off it keeps on coming, doesn't it? So, Catherine Batt, we'll touch on a few bits and bobs in a moment, but in terms of this game, Chelsea going at the first half with a slight lead, but a couple of shouts for a penalty. Should they feel hard done by?
Yeah, I think they had about 3 shouts for a penalty. I definitely think they could have had at least one of them. Handball, the first one, a shirt pull, another handball. I think if they'd have gone in 0-0 at half-time, Emma Hayes might have had a few more words to say to the officials, but because they're ahead, and obviously if the score stays the same, it won't matter. But yeah, I definitely think they could have had a couple of penalties.
Arsenal this week announced that they're going to use the Emirates for their women's team as their main stadium. So 8 WSL games will be played there next season and some cheap Champions League matches as well. It feels like they're slowly making the move there full time, doesn't it?
It does indeed, and we've seen them get great crowds at the Emirates this season. You know, they've broken that record attendance many times. It does kind of feel like that is their home now. Like, they play games at Boreham Wood, but it sells out regularly, and there's a lot of fans that want to go to those home games, and when they play them at Boreham Wood, they can't get tickets because everybody wants to go. So that move to the Emirates will really help more fans get in, and I think it's a great move for them, definitely.
One Arsenal player who won't be playing there on a weekly basis next season is Viv Miedema. It's been announced she'll leave at the end of the season. They haven't offered her a new contract. The club's all-time leading goal scorer. How shocked were you by that news?
I think it's a move we've kind of seen coming for a while. It kind of felt like both parties were ready for that, her time at the club to come to an end. The reasoning seems strange to me because it's almost as if Arsenal think they need to refresh the squad. But Viv Miedema's 27, she's not 37. This is a player that is in her prime. I know she's had problems with injuries. She's not been in a rhythm this season. But if she can get back to that level we saw a couple of years ago, she's one of the best players in the world. So if they lose her to a rival, they might be kicking themselves in a couple of years' time.
You touch on rivals might be interested there. Where do you see her ending up?
If I was going to put a bet on, I think I would say Manchester City. Obviously, it's not done yet. There's going to be a lot of clubs interested in her, but I think she'd like to stay in England. City are the team that seem to be pushing the hardest, so I wouldn't be surprised if we see her down in the northwest next season. She might need to buy an umbrella for the rain, perhaps.
Oh, absolutely. Several umbrellas if it's going to be Manchester. Another player who's on the move at the end of the season is Chelsea forward Fran Kirby. Again, same question. Do you see her staying in the WSL?
I think so, yeah. I mean, I'm not sure if Fran has worked out where she wants to go yet. I think she's still assessing her options. I wouldn't be surprised to see her here, actually, to make the move to Tottenham because, we know they want to keep Grace Clinton, but it's going to be very hard for them to do that. We know Manchester United have said she's not for sale at any price. So if they have to replace her, I think Fran Kirby would be the player that could do that. She's got WSL experience. She knows Drew Spence from her time at Chelsea. She knows Beth England. She'd already have the connections there. So it kind of feels like a move that would make sense. Obviously, football doesn't always work out like that, but I think it would be a great move for Spurs and possibly a good move for Fran as well.
Yeah, Fran Kirby just warming up as we speak. We may see her in the second half. We may see her in the Northwest next year. Catherine, thank you so much for joining us. Enjoy the second half. Jeanette, I think you're just about all caught up on the news.
Thank you very much. We are here at Brisbane Road. The Spurs fans out in their droves, as they were when Tottenham's biggest day in their history on Sunday with the FA Cup final. And here's a look back at what went on at Wembley.
Good afternoon, everyone, from Wembley Stadium. No matter what happens, we will have a new name on the trophy. Into Galton! Spencer quick up her line to make the stop. And then floated to the back post, and Rachel Williams. Oh, what a chance. Toon shimmies away. It's Ella Toon! Another Wembley wonder strike. Williams! Well, you can't say it hasn't been coming. Rachel Williams, a minute in the air, doubles Manchester United's lead. Oh, and that's a big error. And it's a third for United. Becky Spencer gifting it to Lucia Garcia. Space to put the cross in, and England off the bar. How's your luck? That's the closest that Tottenham have come. Allar's delivery. Garcia! Lucia Garcia at the double, and Manchester United have their fourth. Manchester United win the FA Cup. A roller coaster season ends on a high.
Well, it wasn't meant to be for Tottenham, but a first ever trophy for Manchester United. Just one bit of silverware to give out this season, and that will be decided on Saturday. So a reminder of the WSL final day fixtures. Chelsea go to Manchester United, while City visit Aston Villa. You can join us live on BBC Two from 2:40. And we can look at the table as it stands. You can see Chelsea heading into that Saturday. At the moment, that's the advantage. Advantage Chelsea, Manchester City, the goal difference of 2. And here's what's happened in the first half so far.
For the 4th season running, the title will go down to the final day, and a win tonight would put Chelsea in pole position. Here come Chelsea. Oh, space for Hermano. Should have been 1-0. What a chance. Cuthbert Hurst to shoot. Hotakova spills it. Brighton. Excellent defending by James Turner. Hermano! the time to get your first Chelsea goal.
Well, it is 1-0 to Chelsea, so it's time to rejoin our commentary team with Gilly Flaherty alongside Vicky Sparks.
Thanks very much, Jeanette. Big second half coming up. And she knows it. Her side ahead, but only just in terms of the scoreline. Her side ahead of Manchester City in the table as well, but only just in terms of goal difference. What will this second half yield in terms of drama? Drama that has stalked this WSL title race from the first day until the last. Here is James Turner. Grant. Now Spence. Good interception by Charles. Robert Villeham helping his side get on the move quickly. He did say before this game, and we can play without any pressure in terms of the fact that they're sixth and will finish sixth in the WSL regardless this season. It makes me even more brave to play the way we want to play. What improvements will he want to see from his side in this second half in terms of that bravery?
I think just having a bit more support on the ball for the player. You know, you haven't really seen Tottenham play out from the back, which is obviously what he's trying to encourage, but it's just having that quality. Too many times they've had the ball tonight and they just give it straight back to Chelsea.
They're trying to get him behind here, though. Well dealt with by Chelsea, all the way back to Mušović. Clearance, and definitely England looking to take advantage. Naz almost onto it, but just a little far in front of her, and Bjorn will tidy up, but Tottenham almost did.
Yeah, it's a really good opportunity there. Sloppy from Mušović here. Goes for a little clip ball out to Lawrence, underhits it, and that's what Jessica Naz does. She offers the stretch in behind the centre-backs, but Bjorn reads that really, really well, and has to time that right as well.
Good start this though by Tottenham in the second half. And we talked about their prowess regarding coming from behind in the league recently. And they do tend to score at home. They've only failed to score in 2 of their last 12 WSL home games. Here is Clinton. Is success in this second half dependent on perhaps getting her into the game a little bit more, Gilly?
Yeah, I think getting her on the ball. But I think offering support. You know, look at Drew Spence here. She has Simon and Shaw, but she doesn't really have anything else. Everyone just wants to run away. You've got 4 players or 5 players along Chelsea's back line. So if that's the case, then you really have to go over to the top. You can't be playing short ball, because then if you don't do it correctly or you under-hit it, then Chelsea are up against you.
Vortikova close down by Beaver Jones, but calmly out to Amy James Turner. Here's Charlotte Grant, and as a first half substitute for the injured Amanda Neildon. And we do wish her a speedy recovery. Hopefully not as serious as it looked after she was stretchered off with that ankle injury in the first half. Here is Bula. Charles with the straightforward interception, and off she goes, pursued by Naz. Here's Ryson. Eva Jones needs support, comes in the shape of Cuthbert, and now Leipold. Here is the goal scorer, Hamano. Lawrence joining the attack, straight into Ashley Neville.
It's better though from Buller there, because she's right tight behind Beaver Jones, not allowing her to turn. That's what the Tottenham defence have to do.
Poor ball back from Leipold, and Neville clears for Tottenham. Now's with the flick on, looking for Bizet. Calmly done by Charles. What a season she has had. She is one of 7 Chelsea players named in the latest England squad as Macario feeds Hamano. Now Lawrence once more. Cuthbert. Here's Charles once more. Lawrence. Cuthbert on the stretch, almost lost it to Naz. Macario. She by Spence knows. There's referee Emily Heaslip, and Tottenham with an opportunity here. It's Naz. It's Bizet. Thought about going for it. Well, with the delivery and deflects behind at Bjorn for a Tottenham corner.
And really good from Spence there as well. Obviously, I know Macario probably felt that she was fouled there, but being able to be higher up the pitch and being able to win the ball in that situation there, obviously Jessica Naz still got a lot to do there. I think she learned from the earlier one in the first half to go out to Bizet, but again, unsure really what to do. Maybe could have played that there if Grant had carried on her run. But the important thing is that they managed to get a corner and able to put the ball into Chelsea's box.
So Evelina Summonen stands over this for Tottenham. Spencer's at the far post, header was won by her former Chelsea teammate Millie Bright. Helped on now by Charles. Clinton picks it up under pressure from Lawrence, and Clinton did well to get her foot on that, because if she hadn't, Leipold was in. Here is Neville. Just keeps it in. Lovely ball to Spence. Really intelligent play. Right with the block, and then the clearance. But Tottenham in the ascendancy.
There's a bit of rattle defending there as well from Chelsea. Not really the calm and composed defending that we normally see. But Tottenham getting a bit more joy because they've got a few more bodies higher up the pitch.
And here's one of them, Clinton, to Naz. No space for the shot, so she opts for Grant. Bizet. Grant's continued to run, and it's a good one. Can she pick out a teammate? No, she can only pick out the toe of Niamh Charles, but it's another Tottenham corner. Best spell of the game for Spurs by far.
Yeah, best spells. Really great start, really, from after half-time. Grant here, it's good because she plays it and she carries on with her run. Charles knows she can't get nowhere near her, but just does enough there to time that really well. Grant wants to cut back inside, but again, another opportunity for Tottenham to put the ball into the box.
Well, they might not be fighting for a title like Chelsea are, but this is a London derby. This is Tottenham-Chelsea, and this is a Tottenham side, fresh from their first FA Cup final, who are pushing for this equaliser. Summonen with the delivery. Dangerous one. Blocked away on the line and then hacked over. So close to an equaliser for Tottenham. Should have been an equaliser for Robert Villaham's side.
There should have been another good ball in here. There's a lot of bodies in there. Bullock can't really get a ball from out of her feet. Ashley Neville, she just leans back. Bullock here with the first attempt. Bodies all around her. Chelsea throwing their bodies on the line, but Ashley Neville just leaning backwards. No disrespect to Ashley Neville and defenders, because I've had it said about me many a times in my career, but you probably would want a forward player there.
Well, she has netted once this season, Ashley Neville, but she's not a prolific goal scorer. But as you mentioned, Gilly, some nervy Chelsea defending, and we saw it, didn't we, towards the latter stages of the Manchester City against Arsenal game. The game that City were 1-0 up in 10 days ago, but lost to allow Emma Hayes' side back into the title race, very much so. All those things that seem so straightforward, all those defensive moves that you make without even thinking about, suddenly, when the pressure's on and you know the margins are so tight, strange things can happen.
But you also know, Vicky, as well, when you play against Chelsea, the momentum is going to swing back to Chelsea's favour. So you have to make the most of these opportunities and the most of when you do have the ball and you have got the momentum, because it just swings, it changes.
Will Tottenham Maroon not making the most of this strong start to the second half?
Just to see that there as well, Buller. And just looking at the Chelsea bodies that they've got around there, you've got to give credit to that defending. body's on the line. They come out to the ball here, try and make themselves big. It's hard for her to even get that in, but Ashley Neville there just on her left foot, leaning back a little bit. Head in hands.
Still, though, her side lead by a goal to nil. And it's a scoreline that will take them top of the WSL table heading into the final day. Ahead of Manchester City on goal difference by just 2. That's the table as it stands. And it could well come down to goal difference again. Chelsea away to Manchester United at Old Trafford. Manchester City travel to Aston Villa. On paper, the Old Trafford trip is trickier.
Yeah, and especially with United coming off the back of their FA Cup final win, you know they're going to be buzzing. They already know that they've done it over against Chelsea in the FA Cup semi-final as well. So they're going to fancy themselves, and in all fairness, they've got nothing to lose. Man United are in a position to really be party spoilers.
Yeah, their first ever victory over Chelsea, as Julie says, came in that FA Cup semi-final this season. That was the last meeting between the sides. Macario's delivery, too much on it. Will roll all the way through to Charles. Here is Wrighton. Oh, clever ball back. Spence gets in a muddle. Charles just about cleared away by Simonen. That's some excellent defending. Helping out central midfield partner there, Drew Spence. Good defending by Simonen. Samano is easily dispossessed by Neville. Bizet. Good ball to squeeze past Cuthbert to Simonen. Looking for Naz. Up against Bjorn, and Naz has got the better of her. England in the centre. Naz can get the ball across. Good defending in the end by Bjorn. Cleared away by Bright. Intelligent header by Wrighton. Macario, and suddenly Chelsea have space to stride into. Hermano. Look at Macario, the number 9, racing through the centre. Hermano opts for Wrighton instead. And for this second half, a rare spell of possession for Chelsea.
Yeah, it's gone a little bit transitional as well. No, Chelsea getting it, they're breaking straight away. Tottenham are getting it, they're breaking straight away as well.
Here is Bright. Hermano. Macario, space to turn into. Tries to pick out Wrighton, cleared away by Grant. Leipol's neat cushioned header. And clean sheets have been hard to come by for Chelsea of late, just 3 in their last 8 games. And as we say, Tottenham do love a goal at home. Well, they don't tend to score multiple goals in the same game, but a goal might be enough to take a point. Severely dent Chelsea's title chances. Unless they win, which they are doing so far, their destiny in terms of the title race will be out of their hands in the final day, and it will be advantage Manchester City. Macario. Here is Bright. Charles to keep it in. Good defending by James Turner, but she won't prevent the corner. Yes, it is. Corner, Chelsea.
Yeah, good patient build-up play there as well from Chelsea. James Turner had to time that right as well. She just dive in a little bit.
Well, the height is up from the back for Chelsea. Millie Bright, the captain. Macario to send it in. Cleared away by Tottenham. Hermano. Intelligently done. Macario. Second chance to provide the delivery. And Rotikova's there.
Yeah, clever play from Hermano as well, because I think everyone thought she was going to put the ball back into the box. but doesn't play it out to her left-hand side with Macario.
Here is Spence. Clinton. Good strength. And run into Hermano. Michael sends it to Cuthbert. Fouled by Grant, who absolutely knew that that whistle was going to go. She didn't break stride as she ran back into that defensive line.
I think it's one of those ones, Vicky, where you say it's a tactical foul. Just comes straight in behind Cuthbert. Cuthbert does well though to get her body across Grant too, make it difficult for her.
Here is Amano, Cuthbert tumbling. Emily Heaslip watching to see if there's an advantage, and there is. Amano, Beever-Jones! Almost beautiful. Audacious little flick from Aggie Beever-Jones, the informed striker, and it rolls just past the post.
Yeah, cheeky little backheel there from Beever-Jones. Good play again, the wide areas from Chelsea. Ashley Neville just gets beat. And it's clever. But obviously I think Dikova knows that it was going well wide.
Dikova's clearance, a little nervy, and Chelsea could take advantage. James Turner under real pressure. Toz just about managed to clear. Michaels with the interception, but Tottenham almost playing themselves into trouble there.
Yeah, I think that's what Villahan wants. He wants them to be able to be brave and play out from the back. And when it comes off, it looks really good, but it's very, very dangerous, especially when you're playing against a team like Chelsea.
And just in the last couple of moments, Chelsea have started to press more around the penalty area as Macario tries to win it back from Clinton. Simonen. Here is Spence. Neville getting forward, so is Grant on this near side, and she's asking for it, the Australia international. Here is Simonen. And now Grant. Slightly heavy touch, and Charles is there. Little back heel of her own to Wrighton. Now Macario, and Beever-Jones let it run. James Turner was there. Beever-Jones has stayed down. And Emily Heaslip is going to make sure that Aggie Beever-Jones is okay. Well, Chelsea can ill afford another attacking injury. They're without Sam Kerr, of course, Mia Fischel, Myra Ramirez. And it's credit to the attacking players, Gilly, that as those players have picked up injuries throughout the season, players like Aggie Beever-Jones have come in and excelled.
Yeah, she's really excelled. Obviously, she has played on the wide-hand side as well, and gone into the central position as well. So just watching that tackle back, it's a strong tackle there from James Turner. See, I don't think Beever-Jones was really expecting it as well to be as strong as what it was. But yeah, she's excelled for Chelsea this year, you know, and I think that's when you give a player like that the confidence and the trust to say, go and play your game. And obviously, listen, I think it done her really well to be out on loan last season as well, to actually learn the league. But yeah, she's flourished for Chelsea this year. She's such an exciting prospect for the English game.
13 goals this season, 11 have come in the WSL, and she has actually scored on all of her previous 5 starts in this competition. They've all come this season. Will she find the back of the net once again? Here is Spence. Tottenham have been the better side in this second half. Simonen. They're preparing to make a double change. Their top scorer, Martha Thomas, is preparing to come on alongside Matilda Winberg. They sense an opportunity here, Spurs. Vucevic clears away from Naz. Here is Grant. James Turner. Buller. Simonen. Bizet. Spence has made a run and worked a bit of space for herself. Cuthbert possibly could have seen Bizet go down there. Oh, it's brilliant play. Bizet can't get the contact on the cross, and Bright hacks away for Chelsea. That was beautiful from Bizet.
Yeah, really good feet there from Bizet. I think she's thrown her hands up in the air a little bit because I think she felt she should have had a free kick, which you could argue here from Erin Cuthbert. If she goes down, I think she'll get a free kick, but she decided to stay up. Fantastic footwork there. And just ended up slipping at the last moment. But really good feet to get away from Erin Cuthbert.
So here is this double change for Tottenham. Jess Naz is off, and their top scorer, Martha Thomas, comes on. She scored in the 2-1 loss to Chelsea at Stamford Bridge on opening day. And Matilda Winberg comes on for Celine Bizet. That's her last action of the game. Winberg, who joined in January, the Sweden international. And the Swedish double winners, Hammarby, actually beat Robert Villaham's Häcken in the Swedish Cup final last year. But Tottenham can play without fear. Tottenham can play without pressure because all the pressure is on Chelsea. This win, if they can hold on to it, is taking them top of the WSL, but they know the margins are so fine as Bjorn clears out of play under pressure from Thomas for a corner. This has been a really good second half from Tottenham.
Yeah, and if I was Tottenham, that's what I would be doing. I'd be looking to get Chelsea turning and facing their own back line. I'd press their back line, I'd press Mujovic because I think there's a mistake in her as well. But that's where they're getting their joy and their success.
So Simonen is over, once more to take the corner, sends Winberg away. It is a packed 6-yard box, and so packed that Emily Heaslip, our referee, is just coming to make sure that there is nothing untoward going on the goal line. So Simonen over this for Tottenham, looking for this equaliser. Simonen's drifted delivery, and the header towards goal is claimed by Mujovic. Well, that could have turned out rather unfortunately indeed for Chelsea.
Yeah, from the angle that we're at as well, looked like it was going to be lofted over Musovic's head. James Turner gets it. It's hard, really. Look, she's got such a big distance as well away from goal to really generate the power that was needed. But another good opportunity for Tottenham.
Here come Chelsea trying to fashion an opportunity at the other end. Drew Spence in heavily on Leipold. She wags a finger. Emily Heaslip agrees. Leipold will get up and receive that ball and lay it off to Macario. Still wincing, Melanie Leipold. Macario in a tight spot. And gets the corner.
It's getting a little bit feisty this game as well, Vicky. It's what we want to see, I think. That London derby is tense.
Guro Reiten taking it upon herself to express Chelsea's dissatisfaction to Emily Heaslip.
Yeah, for me, Drew Spence wins the ball there. I don't think she's late at all. It's good, strong challenge.
So Macario over this for Chelsea. They've been second best in this second half, and they double their advantage. Good delivery, powerfully cleared away. Martha Thomas for Tottenham. Here is Macario. Now Rice and Thomas with the block again, and the flag's up for offside anyway.
The only thing I was thinking there when I was watching it is that Tottenham do really run out blind when they're stepping up from a corner, and Macario had already picked the ball up a little bit earlier on. They're a little bit close there. I'm not sure if they're I mean, if she's given the offside there against Guro Reiten, she ain't offside because she's behind Simonen. So obviously I don't know whether the linesman went over that side can see that far across, but yeah, she wasn't offside for me.
And amidst all that, Chelsea are preparing to make a triple change. Niamh Charles will make way. Jess Carter. Oh, come on, well, Charles has come over. She's 21, but it's actually 12 that's gone up on the board. So rearrange the numbers. Ashley Lawrence it is who comes off for Jess Carter. And Neve Charles for now is staying on. Hamano replaced by Johanna Ritting-Connerid. Well, her goal is the difference as things stand. Her goal, as things stand, is sending Chelsea top of the tree heading into the final day. Her first for the club, and it could be absolutely vital in their pursuit of a 5th consecutive WSL title. And the final change, we'll see Sjoeke Nuskin come on. And Katarina Macario makes way. Well, they're not in control of this game at the moment, Chelsea, and Emma Hayes will be hoping those changes make the difference. Simonen under pressure. Well read by Charles and intelligently chested down as well. Here is Leipold. They do have top scorer Lauren James on the bench, Chelsea, but he's missed the last couple of games with injury. Remains to be seen how fit she is in terms of being able to play a part. And you'd think at 1-0 up, Gilly, with Manchester United to come, which very likely will still be must-win for Chelsea, with Manchester City away to Aston Villa. I'm not going to save James for that.
Yeah, I think, in all honesty, you'd want to save her for the game against United. You've got other players that can come on and hopefully finish the game off for them tonight. But, yeah, depending on obviously how she's feeling, for me, I'd save her for the United game.
Here is Carter. Clinton is there. Well, the Bristol City game for Chelsea, which they won 8-0, was all about getting that goal difference back for Manchester City. This, at this stage, is just about the 3 points, Gilly. As Cuthbert goes in strongly. Tottenham free kick.
Yeah, I think it feels different this game as well, Vicky. I think in that game you could tell from the moment that Guru Wright scored that first goal, she charged and got the ball. And I think that's been different tonight. I think it's one of those ones, they knew they had the opportunity against Bristol to really rack up the numbers, and that's no disrespect to Bristol, but it's Chelsea knowing the opposition and taking advantage of that, whereas tonight, you're coming away from home, you're coming to a difficult place, you're coming against a Tottenham team who are still hurting from the FA Cup final. You don't really know what to expect, you've got to give them the respect as well. It is one of those ones, get the job done, get home, get the 3 points and go into the last game.
It's a 3 points. That is taking them ahead of Manchester City at the top on goal difference. That is how tight it is. But this game is not done yet. We've seen late drama, we've seen late goals affect this title race. Are we going to get another twist and a turn here?
That's what we're seeing as well. You're seeing the tension, I think, on the pitch. The tackles coming in. The crowd feels tense as well. I do feel like there's going to be a goal. I don't know what way it's going to swing though, Vicky.
Simonen to send it forward for Tottenham. Cleared away by Ritting-Connerid. Eva Jones with the header. Nuskin will take it on. Ritting-Connerid trying to stay onside, and Chelsea win the throw. This is where psychology comes into it. He'll know that. Most fans will know that. Chelsea have never failed to beat Tottenham in the modern era. But the longer this goes on at 1-0, you just wonder, will they start dropping deep? Will the nerves start creeping in as they did for Manchester City against Arsenal? Or can Chelsea find that second goal and just breathe a little easier? It's a lovely ball, Cuthbert. Brilliant run, Cuthbert for Chelsea. Great block by Charlotte Grant. Chelsea with the corner.
Yeah, really good defending them from Grant. Cuthbert just seems to skip past too easily and finds herself in the box. Again, Neve Charles. Here, Cuthbert, it's just far too easy for me. She skips past James Turner, But it's a fantastic block there from Grant.
Once more, the height is up from the back for Chelsea as Cuthbert sends it in. Poor delivery. Sent back in by Ritin Carnarid. Thomas is there again. Up by Ryton. Helped on by Spence. Ryton forward once more. Cuthbert will chase this. Bethany England gets there. It's a bit of a miscued clearance, and the header right back across, straight to Aki Beaver-Jones, who took it first time. Difficult chance. Oof. It's not quite centre-half defending, is it?
That is not centre-back defending. Beth England, get out of the defensive box, please. But no, yeah, I think she's got a little bit nervous then, her heart in her mouth. I think she just goes to clear it, slices it a little bit, and then thinks, I don't think she can go back to the goalkeeper, but just drops the ball down into the edge of the box. Very dangerous position there, and she'll be fortunate that Chelsea didn't punish him.
Here is Beaver-Jones. Oh, lovely touch. It's behind Ryton, the delivery. She got a glare from Ryton there. Scored 4 goals in their last match against Bristol City. Ryton, she celebrated every single one with verve and fury. But what I loved was that she almost celebrated the assist that she got for Chelsea's 8th goal. Beaver-Jones' 2nd of the night more. Huge clenched fist. They knew, of course, they knew how important goal difference was going to be. Emma Hayes said after the match that she felt they probably needed to score 6 goals in that game once Manchester City had lost to Arsenal earlier in the day, to give themselves a decent chance in this WSL title race. They scored 8, they've scored 1 here. It's taking them top of the table on goal difference with 1 game to play. Chelsea away to Manchester United at Old Trafford, Manchester City away to Aston Villa at Villa Park on Saturday. What a final day it's going to be. Martha Thomas ball forwards, all the way through to Mušević.
It's just that final decision-making, though, there. Obviously, you see what Martha Thomas is trying to do. Lad down the inside of the centre-back to Beth England to run on the back shoulder, but just overhits it a little bit. It's just, it feels like it's just getting tense out there, though.
Here is Ritin Carnarid to Carlton. Well, they've used this system quite a lot in recent weeks. They've gone to the 3 at the back, Chelsea. What's the thinking behind that, Gilly?
I think to try and get another goal. I think whilst it still stays 1-0, Tottenham have still got a chance in the game. So we see against Bristol they went into this formation, but I think that was obviously just to try and rack up as many goals as possible. But here, if they can get a second, sort of will kill the game off.
Interesting, though, it's always a call, isn't it? Didn't look like Charles had kept that in, and the lineswoman on this near side agrees. But that's the danger, isn't it? If you try and hold on to the 1-0, the later you go, the later you go. But if you go for it, you let Tottenham in behind. This is why Emma Hayes has built such a legacy at Chelsea over the last 12 years, making the big decisions at big moments. Will this one pay off? Forward by Brights, Ritin Carnarid off and away. Up against Bullish, it's done really well, brilliantly well, Ritin Carnarid. Behind Beaver-Jones, Ryton to give Chelsea breathing space. Buller away. Spence lets it bounce, under pressure from Newskin. Cuthbert picks it up, Tottenham struggling to clear their lines as Ryton picks up Beaver-Jones and the whistle's gone. And Voltikova is there anyway.
It was a great run from Ritin Carnarid and just doesn't get the ball right across the box. Really good battle here. Just behind Beaver-Jones, just hold your ground. You don't need to carry on running into the space. If she stands still, Ritin Carnarid's going to find her. She's got a great opportunity.
She's not saving Lauren James for Manchester United, Emma Hayes. Chelsea's top scorer is coming on because they have to win this game. And it's in the balance. The title's in the balance. If they concede, Chelsea, even a draw means their destiny is out of their own hands on the final day. Regardless, the title race goes to the final day. But anything other than a victory here, and it is huge advantage Manchester City. Double change. James is on, Beaver-Jones is off. Chelsea's top scorer, their newly crowned Player of the Year, enters the field. She scored what proved to be the winner at Stamford Bridge against Tottenham on the opening day, and Fran Kirby also comes on for Guro Reiten. So confirmation of those changes as Super Fran Kirby's name is roared. She will be leaving Chelsea at the end of the season. Pause in play here because Drew Spence is down just outside the centre circle. So a chance for both sets of players to come over and receive some words of wisdom from their respective managers, which gives us a chance to reflect on the Chelsea career of Fran Kirby. Gilly Flaherty.
Vicky, you know what? I could stand here all game and talk about Fran Kirby. For me, she's one of the best humans that I think I've ever had the privilege to come across. I roomed with her for a little bit at England, you know, spent a lot of my time at Chelsea playing with her. She's one of the best forward players that I've ever had to come up against, whether it be in training, whether it be in game situations, but better than all of that, take the player away from it, it's the person. You know, you don't find many people like her, in my opinion, in the women's game. And, you know, she's a great friend, and I hope that she, wherever she goes next, she continues to play, you know, because any team who gets her is going to be a very, very lucky club, and I hope that they look after her, they appreciate her, and they get the best out of her, because she's still, in my opinion, one of the best in the WSL.
Spence unable to continue. Kit Graham replaces her. Huge servant to Tottenham, just as Kirby has been to Chelsea. 9 years she spent at Chelsea, Fran Kirby. She will leave at the end of the season when her contract expires. I think it is so poignant as well. She said she's had some of the greatest times at Chelsea, but some of the hardest as well, with illness and injury. As James streams forward, here is new skin. Rusyn Carnarids. She's got 3 white shirts around her, but Cuthbert will pick it up. Here is Carter. Cuthbert. Carter once more into the final 8 minutes. Chelsea still with a slender advantage, both on the night and in the title race as we head towards the final day. But a Tottenham goal would change all of that. Grant forwards, Nuskin's header over the head of James. James Turner will clear away. But Lauren James has already, Gilly, added that spark.
That's why she's on the pitch, Vicky, and not on the subs bench still. But yeah, she's so dangerous, you know, Lauren James. She can just change the game completely.
Yeah, she was a little sneaky, Emma Hayes, in her pre-match press conference. She was asked if James would be fit enough to start, and she said no. And I think the received wisdom was that James wouldn't be involved, but she is on the bench, and she has come on. And here come Tottenham with Kit Graham, Vinberg. This is where Chelsea have to hold their nerve, and they do so with Charles. Cleared away by Bjorn. Lovely touch by Kirby. James wants it. Here she is, Chelsea's top scorer. Almost lost where she was. He runs into trouble, and Clinton will bring it away for Tottenham. Vinberg. Lovely ball through the centre. Flag does go up though. Bethany England looks over in disgust.
She looks fuming there. She stopped and turned to have a little look. Be interesting to see how far offside she was. But there's a great opportunity there for Tottenham as well.
Chelsea are taking this opportunity to move top of the table. 2 goals in it in terms of goal difference. 1 game to play for Emma Hayes to try and win that 5th WSL title in a row, her 7th overall. As Kirby in the centre, what an opportunity! And she knows it. Got the run all right, got the finish all wrong. How costly could that be for Chelsea?
I mean, Chelsea will be hoping that it's not costly for them in the end, but you'd be expecting better in that position there. I think it's just that bounce then. I think she's trying to just guide it into the net, but the bounce comes up too high for her.
And here comes Tottenham down the other end. Someone down. No foul, says referee Emily Heaslip as Cuthbert went in. James plays it behind Whitting Carnerids. Someone now up to her feet. Graham clears away for Tottenham. Here is Simonen. Forward by Bright. Nuskin. Whitting Carnerids. Driven ball to Charles. There she goes, Niamh Charles. Couldn't get the purchase on the pass. Tottenham work it out nicely. Winberg. Run into Lycos. And here is Kirby. Bit of space. Game opening up now. James. Vosikova will claim. And time ticks away. Tottenham. Thomas won't reach it. Bright is there. Plays it straight into Winberg. Charles there to tidy up. Cleared away by Bjorn. Thought about it. Ooh, not too far away. Not at all.
Yeah, I think when Beth England thought about it, I think she was just a little bit too far out. Sloppy again, turnover. She thinks about it there. Grace Clinton picks the ball up. I mean, is that the right decision? Should she really go to Winberg on the right-hand side? Probably yes. But if that goes in, then you're not going to argue. But obviously, it's not at all close in the end.
Well, frustration here for Chelsea because the whistle went from referee Emily Heaslip. And to be fair, she hasn't really done that much in this game, the referee. She's usually been very adept at spotting the advantage, but perhaps could have just held off half a second longer. Chelsea won't mind too much. 1-0 is good enough. It'll take them top. 2 goals ahead of Manchester City on goal difference, leaving their destiny in their own hands, and I suppose in Manchester City's own hands as well. Essentially, it's going to come down to, if both of them win, who can score more goals, with Chelsea having that 2-goal advantage.
That's what we wanted as well. I think that's what I wanted. I wanted it to go down to the last day, make it exciting.
Well, another goal would certainly help Chelsea's cause, primarily. It's all about the 3 points, but they certainly wouldn't say no. Whitting Connerid's done brilliantly, but managed to evade all the teammates. Cuthbert with the effort, deflected, corner. Chelsea will take that.
Yeah, I think with Chelsea, it's just been that decision-making, you know, the runs into the box, the passes that have come in have seemed to be behind players, too far in front of players. I mean, Whitting Connerid has been a live wire since she's come on. I think she's so good because she's so direct with the ball. Here, just behind Lauren James, but too far in front of Nuskin.
So corner to Chelsea. Cuthbert with the delivery. And the whistle's gone. And it will be a free kick to Tottenham. Chelsea edging closer to this invaluable victory. And we should mention as well, in terms of the goal difference for her side, they're ahead of Manchester City on goals scored as well. Scored 6 more than City, so that could come into play too. Don't miss it. BBC 2, the WSL final day, where the title will be decided. Our coverage starts from 2:40 on Saturday. Here is Luskin. Missing Cunnerid will collect. Here is Carter. Luskin's in there, cleared away by Graham. Thomas heads it on, but Ellie Bright is there to cover. 4 minutes of added time. Chelsea's so close. Luskin. Cuthbert sends it out to Charles. Play by Charles, but will be blocked away by Tottenham. Couple of ricochets. And Cuthbert will chest it down.
It's getting a little bit scrappy again. Tottenham not really able to get hold of the ball. Chelsea still pushing for that extra goal.
Well, as long as they can keep Tottenham penned in their own half, they will be heading top of the table. And they've won a throw. But there's no time wasting, no gamesmanship from Chelsea. As you say, Gilly, they are looking for this second goal to wrap up the 3 points and to help the goal difference as well. Here's Kirby. Won't fall kindly for Chelsea. And Ashley Neville will collect for Tottenham. Carter across quickly. Thomas is there. And suddenly Chelsea a little stretch. That was an important block from Bright because Tottenham are sending the white shirts forwards.
It's just a story, though, isn't it, really, from Chelsea all night? The ball coming into the box hasn't just settled right for them, or the runs have not been there.
Good challenge by Carter, hitting Cunnerid's. Leipold's dispossessed, though. Here is Clinton. Challenged by Cuthbert, and whistle goes from referee Emily Heaslip. And Tottenham look as though they might send pretty much everybody forward. Not Votakova, she's staying where she is. 90 seconds for her side to see this out. Everybody back for Chelsea, bar Lauren James. Vinberg to send it long. Kirby will bring it down for Chelsea. James, as they look to counter. Here is Charles. James has it once more, could have gone down there. Emily Heaslip just making sure that Kit Graham is okay. Which way is this decision going to go? Well, Chelsea are protesting this. It's been given as a Tottenham throw, and you just wonder whether James perhaps should have gone down there. She shouldn't need to, in truth. Chelsea have it anyway. Here is Nuskin. Ritten Cunnerid. Look at Leipold's in space. Too much on it from Ritten Cunnerid, but Kirby will chase. And she'll keep it in. Tottenham all of a sudden looking ragged as Kirby sends it in. Cuthbert can't bring it down, and Tottenham might be able to counter. Carter out quickly. She's committed the foul. It'll be a yellow card, and Jess Carter will take that all day long.
Yeah, 1,000,000%. It's one of those tactical fouls that we talk about. As a defender or anyone breaking away to slow the game down, Tottenham are on the attack. Their body's going forward. You just do what you got to do, and she'll take the yellow for that all day long.
We played the 4 minutes of added time. Tottenham, perhaps, with one final chance to derail Chelsea's title challenge. It has to go long, it does. Carter's there. Ritten Cunnerid up against Neville, loses out. Graham, blocked by Cuthbert. And that is full time. Chelsea in pole position, heading into the final day of the WSL. 2 weeks ago, she said this title race is over. But once again, the Blues have put themselves in a really good position to close out the WSL title. It would be their 5th in a row. It would be their 7th under Emma Hayes. And it would see her end her final season with the club, with silverware. They've got the job done, and they head into this final day, top of the table, ahead of Manchester City on goal difference. What a final day we have in store in the Women's Super League. Gilly Flaherty.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be a great day on Saturday. Obviously, the game's all kicking off at the same time as well, so there might be a little bit of nerves chucked about. But for me tonight, it's one of those games where it doesn't necessarily matter about the performance. It's about getting the result and getting the job done, and that's what they had to do tonight. Tottenham defended really well, much better than what they did on the weekend against United. They'll feel hard done by that. They probably haven't come away with something from tonight's game, but ultimate professional from Chelsea. Get the job done, get the 3 points, and go into the last day of the season.
Well, it is going to be quite a finale. Emma Hayes' Chelsea travel to Manchester United at Old Trafford. Manchester City away to Aston Villa at Villa Park because of the goal from that woman, her first for the club, Maika Hamano, your player of the match, Gilly.
Yeah, I mean, for me, there wasn't really many players that stood out, but I think for me, Hamano, she had the early chance, she put it over the bar, but she kept getting in really good positions, and she stepped up. She's a match winner for Chelsea. She got an all-important goal from tonight. So, yeah, for me, she's the player of the match.
Well, it's been a remarkable 12 years for Emma Hayes at Chelsea, and she goes into her final game with the title on the line. They're in pole position. Which way will this topsy-turvy title race end up going? Will it be Manchester City's? Will it be Chelsea's? We'll find out on Saturday. It finishes here. Tottenham 0, Chelsea 1.
Vicky, Gilly, thank you very, very much. Chelsea hanging on 1-0. But Farah, when we were watching that, is that enough from a Chelsea side who are chasing a title?
For me, look, it was important they got the 3 points to put themselves in the driving seat going into the final game. But for me, just one goal against this Tottenham team and only being a 2-goal difference, when City have Aston Villa, where I would expect them to get goals in, and Chelsea having a tougher game against Manchester United, I'm not sure it's enough. Chelsea are going to need goals against this Man United team on Saturday, that's for sure, if they are to win the title.
Yeah, I would agree with Farah. I think, you know, they didn't make the most of the dominance they had in that first half. You know, they created so many chances, and really they should have put them away, because now they're going to have a much tougher game against Man United, who are going to be so much more confident off the back of their FA Cup trophy win.
I think if you look at that Bristol City performance and how clinical this Chelsea team were in front of goal, that was the difference today. They just wasn't the decision-making in the final third, taking too many touches, not executing. I think that's what they're going to look back on if they don't win this title.
There was something that Emma Hayes said in her pre-match interview where Anita, she said, I just want to enjoy these last 2 games. How much do you actually think she enjoyed that particular game?
Yeah, I think she would be, you know, pleased that she managed to get, you know, a young player like Aggie Beaver-Jones starting in the number 9 today, Hamano getting another goal, those moments. But I think she still probably would want a more complete performance over the course of 90 minutes. I don't think we really saw that today, especially after the Bristol win and the kind of scintillating game that was. We would have expected so much more intensity from Chelsea today.
Absolutely. One thing she'll be enjoying, is the fans here, because they've sang all evening to really try and, you know, keep this Chelsea team on. So Emma spoke about how important the fans have been and the connection they have there, and I think the appreciation and the fact they've stayed behind. This is some part of the game and the evening that Emma for sure will be enjoying.
Yeah, you can see her there. She's soaking it up, she's taking it in, but there is one more game to go. They do go in with the advantage, but it's only a 2-goal difference advantage. So tonight, a substantial goal line, Anita, is what she would have wanted, essentially.
Yeah, absolutely, because I'm sure those Man City players will see this result today and be thinking, now we know what we need to do, and it's all up to them to try and get as many goals as they can against Aston Villa. So ultimately Chelsea had an opportunity today to also put pressure going into the final game to Man City.
If you are a City player, you're watching that tonight, Farah, what are you thinking?
I think they'll be thinking that that's the best thing that possible could have happened for them, other than Chelsea losing, of course, here tonight or drawing. But keeping the goal difference, as close as possible, like they have, with only 2 goal difference.
Yeah.
The amount of goals this Manchester City team have scored over the season and the different goal scores that they have. Take out Bunny Shaw, we know she's injured. These City players, look at Emma there, just soaking up the crowd. I told you, this is something that Emma will be enjoying this evening. But going back to Manchester City, they have goal scorers across the front. So they know they can get goals, and they will be looking at this result as probably a positive.
Well, there you can see Emma Hayes soaking up. I did say she wanted to enjoy these last 2 games. She's definitely doing that now, but we can find out the thoughts of Erin Cuthbert. She's alongside Jo Curry.
Well, Erin, a big win. Spurs didn't let you rest for a moment in that second half. What was the emotions at the full-time whistle? Relief?
Yeah, I think relief. We came here for 3 points and, we're walking away with 3 points, so job done, 1 to go.
Like you say, job done. How significant can that result be in the title race?
They're all significant, that's the thing. Every game we've played they all equal 3 points, but we knew we needed to win tonight to still be in it again. And we've done that, and we've set up a nice game at Old Trafford against Man United.
You've pretty much come straight from the huddle where Emma Hayes was addressing all of the players. Keep it clean, but what was said?
I can't then. No, just 1 to go. Job's not done yet. I think we can enjoy the moment, enjoy tonight. We came for a win, but I think, rest, recover, because we got a game again in 2 days, so it's tight.
Is the only frustration that you didn't score more this evening?
I think we had a few chances, but I think most importantly it was about keeping the back door shut in the second half. When they've got a little half chance here and there, don't want to give them anything. So we know a clean sheet set us off quite nicely, and Mike has got the first goal. Delighted for her. What a young kid she is.
Just the small matter of a trip to Old Trafford on Saturday then. You've been in the position of being so close to the title on the final day many times before. When you look around this squad, is this a group of players that have the fight now to go and finish the job?
Well, I'll make sure we do in the dressing room. Come Saturday, we'll be leaving nothing on the pitch. We'll be giving everything, and no matter what the result is, at least we can look each other in the eye and say we gave everything.
Thanks, Erin. Well done.
Thank you.
Yeah. That is brave talk there from Erin Cuthbert. They're not going to leave anything. They're going to take it all to, of course, Manchester United. There are 2 goals between them. You can see City level on points with them. This is teeing up something spectacular for Saturday. And like we said, Chelsea know how to get this done.
Yeah, it's super exciting, I think. Again, Chelsea are used to seeing themselves on the top of the table, and they're just 2 goals between them, so City have a chance.
So let's look at these fixtures then. You can see on Saturday all of this kicking off. We're going to see it here on the BBC. We can see right there 3 o'clock kickoffs. Aston Villa take on Manchester City, and Manchester United, they host Chelsea. Both teams are away. So who do you then, Farah, fancy to take this title?
We know that Aston Villa over seasons have made it difficult for Manchester City. But as I said, the momentum that Manchester City have, the form they've been in all season, the consistency they've shown, the fact that they have goal scorers across the front line, I think they go away to Aston Villa and get more goals than what Chelsea do if they are to beat Man United, who will be really tough opposition for them. They're playing at Old Trafford. That's an extra incentive for these Man United players coming off the back of winning an FA Cup final. They're going to want to show that they can still compete with that top 3, having dropped out of it this season.
Yeah, they are energised, Manchester United, and they are going to want to do everything they can to stop Chelsea from, I guess, winning that title. But then what we're seeing a City side that are motivated. They want that title too.
Yeah, because this is a chance for them to win it. They haven't won it since 2016, and I think for Chelsea, I can't bet against them. We thought they were out, down and out before the Bristol game, and they found a way back. So
not just you, Emma Hayes herself said it. I mean, it was something for her. Emma Hayes turned around and thought, there's no way this is happening. They have got a second chance. You heard Erin there. It was a little war talk, but she knows it in that dressing room on Saturday. She's just going to go for it.
I believe every word Erin says. I think her performances across the season, I mean, she's dragged this Chelsea team for everything. She looks knackered, by the way. She looks really tired there, doesn't she, at the end of the season? But I don't not believe her. She's going to go into that game and leave everything on the pitch. She'll be on the floor at the end of the game, and I'm sure her teammates will follow that.
Well, her teammates will follow, but they'll be, of course, led by Emma Hayes, and she's talking to Jo Curry.
Well, Emma, huge congratulations. A very hard-fought 3 points. How hard did you have to work for it tonight?
you have to work hard in every game in this league. You know, you have to earn it, and the league, I've been saying all year, is getting more and more competitive. It's a great product because games are tight. You know, Tottenham on the back of a cup final, they put in a great effort, especially second half. But really happy with the performance, especially first half. Just might have to do a little bit of shooting practice this week.
The fact you had to bring Lauren James on, a player who's only trained once in 18 days, does that show that you had to throw everything at it this evening?
You know what? It's been a long season. You know, players across the league we put in great shifts over a period of time, and it's a slog this time of the year. So we need the whole bench. You know, no matter who starts, we're always going to use the whole bench.
Micah Hamano's not a player we've seen loads of this season, but I think the Chelsea fans may have found themselves a new hero.
I'm not afraid to put young players in, and we see players for the future, and I'm very happy to see Micah get on that. She's in on merit. She's been outstanding in training, and she's been clinical. She's been getting goals in training. So it doesn't matter who you are, you still have to produce those performances. And Micah, for me, had been scoring goals like that all week in training.
One game to go, top of the table, ahead on goal difference. Would it be fair to say the odds ever so slightly in your favour come that final day?
I think we've got the tougher of the two games. So we've got to go to Old Trafford. Fitting finale for me, my final game. As I said to the players, if someone gives you a second chance in life, make sure you don't need a third one. So we're in the position we want to be in, and we'll give it everything on Saturday, no matter what.
It's almost been a long goodbye. Are you emotionally ready for it?
I won't swear, but
Thank you.
I'm absolutely knackered, yeah.
You're nearly there. One more to go. Well done for tonight. We'll see you on Saturday.
Cheers. Thanks a lot. Thanks.
You are live on the BBC, Emma Hayes. Please do not swear. Absolutely. But this is somebody, look, they respect her, they appreciate her so much. And you almost think, Anita, that these players are going to want to win for her as well, right?
Absolutely, Jeanette. Emma Hayes is... the legacy she has built at Chelsea, you can't imagine anybody else filling her shoes. And those players have so much respect for her and all the things they've achieved together and the journey they've been on. I've been fortunate to play underneath, for Emma, and I know kind of the human she is, both on and off the pitch, and they'll just want to send her off on a high as well. Yeah,
and she mentioned the fact there, Farah, that she's not afraid to use young players. Micah Hamano, she's 20 years old. The Chelsea fans tonight, they would have loved to see that goal. And it was a great goal as well. It was coming, it was threatening, and the finish was fantastic.
Yeah, it was a really good goal. And it come down that left-hand side where they were so dynamic in the first half. And you can see here, Guru Wrighton, great delivery. And she deserved that, Hamano, because she made this run countless amount of times to the back post in that first half, trying to get on the end of something. She missed a big one before that. But make no mistake, she wasn't missing this one, Anita.
Yeah, and I think it's about, players... It's about pictures. You often are in those scenarios, and the fact that she was clinical the second time around, she probably mentally told herself, I'm going to make sure that I have that composure to put the ball in the back of the net.
Yeah, and in terms of the second half, we sat there. It was a bit of a lacklustre second half from Chelsea. You probably wanted them to give a little bit more energy into this. And Tottenham, they had some chances, Farah.
They did. They actually come out firing a little bit in the second half, this Tottenham team, and they got themselves a run of corners. And we'll see here a corner. Really good contact, you see here, and it's a great block, and then it falls to Ashley Neville, the second chance. So this one, you can see the keeper just gets involved a little bit, falls nicely here, but Ashley Neville, she'll be kicking herself because she has to do better from the rebound here, Anita.
For me, she has to hit the target. She just snatches that in. She's leaning back and it goes over the bar. But you don't get these chances against Chelsea.
No, and this is the best one, Anita, isn't it?
Oh yeah, bit of skill from Bizet. It doesn't have the composure to just pick out Drew Spence, as you see hanging out in the box there. Plenty of time and space. If you could just find that pass, that's a better opportunity.
And that's going to frustrate them, isn't it? Because actually they gave quite a good account of themselves, especially in that second half. They could have gone out there, they could have levelled it, but they're going to be frustrated. But hey, it sets them up probably for next season.
I think it shows how far they've progressed in the league, because we're talking about a Tottenham team here that could have grabbed something from a game you know, and they've lost it. So we're talking about their performance being good. So that already shows the progress. They're not coming away from a game where, you know, they've been absolutely battered by a Chelsea team that dominated much of possession. It shows that they've stayed in a game and been able to create chances against, you know, one of the best teams in the league and one of the best teams across the league for so many years.
Yeah, you can see Emma Hayes here. She's soaking it up, and you can really see that actually she might miss this. The WSL is all about talking and engaging to the fans. She might not get that same experience when she moves over to the States.
Well, you know, these fans, a lot of them have gone in this journey with her as well, and they've built this connection and this bond, and they've made Kings Meadow, you know, their fortress over the years. And I think, you know, these are the moments that you've just got to soak in and take it all in. And they obviously want to send her off as well, knowing just how much value she's added to Chelsea as a club.
It's brilliant. Well, I guess I'm going to ask you both now, right? Money on the table. Who's winning?
I don't have any money.
Who takes the title on the weekend? Who does it? Who takes it?
You know what? It's a difficult one. Both teams, I think, will win. Can Chelsea get the goal difference? I'm going Chelsea. I'm a Chelsea fan, I have to say.
Yeah, I know you're going to say Chelsea. Anita?
I'm going to say Chelsea just because they've been here, done it before, even when the margins are this tight. And I just can't imagine betting against them.
You can't bet against them, but they are a team that absolutely know how to do it on the final day. So once again, the WSL, what a day we have in store on Saturday. It's teed up to be something absolutely spectacular. Who's going to take it as they go into the final day? It's advantage Chelsea, just.
The title will go down to the final day. Brighton, excellent defending by James Turner. Amano! What a time to get your first Chelsea goal! Blocked away on the line and then hacked over. So close to an equaliser for Tottenham. Almost beautiful. Well, it's Kirby in the centre. What an opportunity. Chelsea in pole position.